Hello, everyone. I'm Golda,
And I'm Jamie.
and welcome to the J Gold Impact.
So, for today's episode, we have a really good one.
A really good one.
We are talking to you all about the food crisis here in America.
Yes, in America, because you know what, America, we have a problem.
So, to kick off the video, we do have a couple of statistics that we'd like to read for you.
Yes.
And so, I'll kick it off.
Yes, go ahead, Jamie. Kick it off.
So, this is taken straight from The Guardian. American food contains thousands of synthetic additives and agricultural chemicals, such as Red 40, titanium dioxide, and atrazine. Because the FDA permits companies to self certify ingredients as safe and allows them to use many additives banned in Europe, the US food supply remains a source of significant health and regulatory debate.
And you know what? I'm glad you read that statistic, Jamie, because I remember when growing up, these foods and these additives were not so much in our food. And it's sort of like over the past 10 to 15 years, we're hearing about these things, right? Because I hate to say it, but in 1990 we didn't have a lot of people, at least the statistic wasn't so, you know grandiose, where we were seeing all of these things in our foods, right? If they were, we weren't being told about them. And again, too, there wasn't such quick access to the internet. So I say this because I do know that when I travel overseas and I'm here and I go there and I eat, right? I'm not getting that bloated feeling. I'm not getting things where I'm reacting to the food. But when I come back here, I eat a pasta and my stomach is out to here. Or I have the red pasta sauce and I have heartburn. So I do know that there is something being put in our food without us knowing it, and it's causing a lot of medical issues and a lot of illness. Jamie, how about you?
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. I remember growing up, I had no problems consuming dairy in particular.
Yes.
And now that I'm a little bit older, whenever I have dairy, I get breakouts, my stomach hurts, I feel gassy and bloated. But funny enough, whenever I travel, and specifically in Europe, I can have all the dairy in the world.
That's true.
I have no reactions whatsoever.
Yeah.
In fact, my skin clears up, my stomach is at ease, and there are no problems with the food.
I forgot about dairy because that also affects me. And honestly, in America, I don't really eat dairy like that. So that is something that is a good call out. Okay. So here's another statistics that I wanted to read. And it's about the FDA and the foods. So on April 29, 2026, the FDA issued results from the agency's increased testing on, I hate to say it, infant formula to understand the presence of certain contaminants. Now, when we're talking about infant formulas, why are there contaminants in infant formulas? We're talking about babies here, right? And the testing was conducted as part of the FDA's Closer Initiative to Zero. I'm sorry, Closer to Zero initiative. This is an initiative that they have, right? Where they're outlining the reducing lead, arsenic, and cadmium and mercury in food intended for babies and young children. That's concerning.
Maybe for people who might not know, let's define what the FDA is.
So the FDA is the Food and Drug Administration, right? And they're the agency that oversees the production of all our food, what's in the food, and things of stuff, what's in the environment. So they're doing basically a lot of testing surrounding the food that we eat and what are the results if there are contaminants in the air, in the soil, and things like that. So if you go on their database and their website, you will see a lot of these results from the testing that they do. And they're always doing some sort of testing, right? But the problem is there are little, how do you say, loopholes into these corporations and them self certifying for these tests and so on. Yes, so as a result of these contaminants in our food, we're getting a lot of like side effects. such as now we have hypertension, there's a lot of salt in these foods. Then we have like diabetes is on the rise. We have all these other symptoms that's on the rise because of our food. So, I mean, it's one of these things where we can say, is it really America we have a problem, or is it FDA, Food and Drug Administration, we have a problem? What do you think, Jamie?
Well, I definitely think there is a crisis because
Yes.
if you go on the CDC's website, which is the Center for Disease Control,
Mm-hmm.
it literally says that approximately 75% of the American population is overweight.
75%.
Yes,
Wow.
I checked
Yes.
this weekend. 3 out of 4
Mm.
folks are overweight in this country.
Well, you know what though? We see it, right? We see it every day in the daily Americans. Everyone's waist is getting bigger and bigger, male and female, I remember growing up, and we're talking like 20 years ago, right? Everyone's waist was not expanded like that. All of a sudden now, even male and female, the male, it's like their stomachs are out to here, and I'm always concerned because I'm like, what is happening? So yes.
But, outside of just the physical effect of,
Mm-hmm.
what it looks like, the aesthetics,
Yes.
internally, there are many challenges that come with just being overweight or unhealthy.
Yes.
I think that now we
Yes.
are, we are seeing young people. I'm sorry to laugh.
The obesity is on the rise. Obesity
Yes,
among young children are on the rise. Yes.
yes, and we're also seeing folks in their 30s having cardiac episodes and
Yes. Yes.
sleep apnea
Yes.
and just all of these symptoms tied to just carrying extra weight.
Yes. And also, it doesn't help that folks are not getting as much exercise in schools as they used to. And nowadays, the children, half of them are on the internet. They're not even outside playing, trying to burn some calories or things like that. So, there definitely is an issue with the type of foods that we're eating. And now, everything is, if it's certified organic or not. What does that look like?
Yes, but unfortunately, I was actually reading that you still have to be careful with certain
Mm-hmm.
organic foods.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So being organic does not mean, oh, you're not going to, it's not contaminated either. And again, it depends on where the food is coming from. And we're very loosey goosey with, what's organic, what's not organic, and so on. Because even for me, when I go to the supermarket and I look, I'm like, okay, what's the difference between an organic avocado and a regular avocado? Because they're saying, oh, it's the thickness of the skin. An avocado has very thick skin. Does it matter if it's organic or not? I don't know. But the way things are going now, everything is organic, and organic is more expensive than regular items. So I don't know either. But I definitely know that America, we do have a problem, and there is a food crisis. And as a result, we're seeing all these obesity rates inching higher and higher. And like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Yes, Jamie.
I totally
Yes.
agree.
And I mean, it's gotten to the point where if you're overseas and I'm eating an egg, which by the way, I don't like eggs overseas because to me, I don't like eggs, period. But I'd rather eat an egg overseas than eat an egg here. But it's gotten to the point where overseas, you're eating a piece of meat and you can actually taste what you're eating. Here, everything is like there's no flavor. There's the scent, what have you. It doesn't even, we're all out of seasons. There used to be a time when, you had a season for different fruits and vegetables. Now in America, everything is so easily accessible, it doesn't matter. So that's another thing too. We aren't eating in seasons anymore. So, America, there is definitely a problem. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let's read a little bit more here. Okay. And then it says, according to Harvard study for public health, processed foods are making us sick. That's another thing, processed foods, right? It's time for the FDA and USDA to step in. Chronic food illness kills up to 678,000 Americans a year. Federal law requires policymakers to take action. The Harvard professor Gerald Mandy argues what's missing is funding and leadership. And we're not even talking getting political right now. It is there is an issue, and the FDA needs to step up. And also, it used to be, oh yes, we should, eat better. Oh yes, we should make better choices. We should make healthier choices. Well, I'm sorry, what? th- there's no. You go to supermarket, organic versus normal. It's still, we don't know. We don't know what's in it. We don't know what's grown, where it's coming from, etc. So because of that, when they say, oh, make healthier food choices, yes, we can say don't eat processed foods, right? But then again, who's to say? Because no one knows, right, Jamie?
Right, right.
Yes. So, America, we do have a problem. So, now that we've addressed that, please drop us a comment and let us know what your thoughts are. Are we in a food crisis situation? And also, what's going to be the outcome? What is the result? What are we talking about in terms of the FDA and stepping up? And what are we talking about as a future for America?
Yeah, please let us know your thoughts on this topic.
Yes. So, drop us a comment. And also, give us a like, hit the subscription button, and don't forget to also hit the notification button so that you can get our latest and greatest.
Yes.
Okay, so these are our thoughts, because America, we really do have a problem with the food that's being given to us, and also the mortality rate. We're not even going to get into that because that's a whole nother subject. So until next time, thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.